Well, I have one, Mr. King. If you would give us your qualifications as a water treatment director, how much experience do you have pertaining to managing or overseeing a water treatment plant?
I have been either assistant director. I was assistant director from 1988 until July of 1991. I have been the executive director of Texas County Water Utilities since that time. I think that's roughly 23 years. I was director of utilities for Paris, Texas for right at 4 years prior to that, and I've had some involvement in laboratory water, wastewater treatment since my last summer in school in the summer before that, 1968 is when I started working in a water treatment lab, and all that together I think is about 42 or 43 years in some form or fashion.
Within the city government of Texarkana, Arkansas and Texarkana, Texas, is there anyone that you are aware of that has more experience or knowledge concerning water treatment and wastewater treatment?
And I use this advisedly, Mayor, because you say treatment. My background and expertise is in biology and chemistry. I'm not a PE. That's why you saw that I very carefully included those two gentlemen on the back row that have the PEs by their names. I'm not aware of anyone that has more length of experience.
The reason I ask you that is we're going to get into the part of it here is that it has been recommended by an entity entitles itself Riverbend that the best avenue is to build a water treatment plant at Red River Army Depot. And I'm just curious to, other than the HDR who did the engineering study, who recommended the new plant at New Boston, if there's anyone that you're aware of that's associated with Riverbend or any other governmental entity that would have a more unique knowledge about what would be the best for the water treatment for Texarkana general area.
Not that I'm aware.
Well, that's what I'm saying, or if you're aware of it, because I haven't heard it other than hypothesis of what's best.
I mean, there's some of their engineering experts that certainly may qualify in that area, but they would be external.
And speaking of engineers, I know we paid, it's my understanding, and please correct me if I'm wrong, we paid $142,193.21 for our portion of this engineer study that was completed around July of 2010. Is that correct?
That's correct.
And based on the fact that, and this is an assumption on my part, that another entity did not like the results or the recommendation that the new plant be built at New Boston Road area, that there was initiation of another study. Is that correct?
I believe there was another study by CH2 and Hill.
And has it been completed?
I believe it has, but...
And do you know what results were?
The initial information that we had was that they recommended that it be at Wright-Patman plant, but I don't have personal knowledge.
No, I mean,
I've not
and
seen
I
the
understand
study.
you don't have personal, because there appears to be some of the entities that are really reluctant to provide first-hand information. It's hearsay, but it's also my understanding that that study that was done was also recommended it, and now then I understand there is a additional study that they're seeking to try to get that study to designate Red River Army Depot as the place. Is that a good assessment?
That is my understanding also.
Okay, and now get back to so the $142,193.21, our portion, basically Texarkana, Arkansas, wasted that money.
I certainly hope not, but it does appear that way.
Well, let me ask this here. Had we utilized the study that had been used, what would have been our natural next step when we pay an engineer company to actually paid $434,877.10 for the entire study that everybody. Now, was that did the member cities also pay a portion of that, or was it just Texarkana, Arkansas, and Texarkana, Texas? Okay, so but anyway, there was $434,000 that was taken out of the TWU funds, both Arkansas and Texas,
That's correct.
that could have been used to do more capital improvement, but it was used for the study, and then
Yes, sir.
the study was rejected. What would have been the normal step had it not been rejected by Riverbend?
The normal next step would have been to seek an engineering firm to begin the design phase of the program.
And what process do we need to go through to do that?
The approval to move forward with it by the board
Okay, so-
and the council.
Okay, so we can make a resolution, bring it up from the board that we want to proceed on with the proposal that we paid for, $142,193.21. We can proceed with that, do what is logically appropriate to pursue, to continue going with the most logical, in our opinion, or my opinion, in your opinion, as the expert in water treatment, to build a brand new plant at New Boston. Do we need a new plant?
Yes, sir.
What's going to be the outcome if we continue doing nothing?
At some point in time, we will continue to increase in the number of failures till we're either unable to meet the regulatory requirements or we're unable to produce enough water.
If that happens, where's all the water going to come from?
At this point in time, the only source would be the Millwood plant.
Okay. Now, with that, I'm going to, as my understanding is reviewing the agreement that we're currently under, the 1985 agreement. I'm going to read something. You please tell me if I'm incorrect. It says is that we're talking about the project at Millwood that was conducted at that built at Millwood. The initial project, which is the Millwood water treatment plant, that provided further that those other cities and customers currently being served by Texas City from Lake Wright Patman Supply under separate contracts with Texas City shall not, without the express approval of Arkansas City's Board of Directors, receive water from the initial project, which is Millwood, but shall continue to be served by Texas City under their separate contract with Texas City to obtain water from Lake Wright Patman. Now, as I read that, if Lake Wright Patman is not able to produce the water through the lack of a treatment plant, then they have a problem, because we should not have to pay unless we approve it. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so unless we especially approve using Millwood water to provide water to anyone other than Texarkana, Texas, without the Board of Directors' explicit approval, then that's a problem.
That would appear to be a problem. I would say, Mayor, that in more friendly times, in times past, when one plant has failed and the other, the two sides have done exactly that, supply the other one, which is what is occurring right now. But long term, that would be a true problem.
As I understand, Texarkana, Texas has an obligation, contractual obligation, to provide Texarkana, Arkansas with water from Wright Patman. Is that correct?
That is my understanding.
And Texarkana, Arkansas only has a legal obligation to provide water to Texarkana, Texas, out of Millwood.
That's also my understanding.
So, how long has Millwood been down or up and running without Wright Patman, New Boston Road?
Between 4 and 5 weeks.
Okay. And we average how many millions of gallons of water a day?
A little over 13.
13? And approximately how many of that goes to Texarkana, Arkansas and Texarkana, Texas?
It's, once again, in the neighborhood of a 60-40 split.
Okay. So that means that Texarkana, Texas owes us for the water that's been provided to anyone other than them since we've been for the last 4 weeks. Is that correct? Legally?
Legally, I would agree.
Okay. I mean, that's a contract as I read it. I mean, I don't know. Okay, but I'm just saying that from my perspective, we've been providing Millwood water for 4 weeks to Texarkana, Texas. Now, are they receiving payment for that water?
Their customers are paying for it.
Who are they paying?
They would pay, depending on who they are, they would either send that money through the utility or directly to Texarkana, Texas.
Okay, but not to TWU.
Well, yes.
But not to the Arkansas side who's providing the water.
No, the Arkansas side is not receiving any
See, and I think that
whatsoever.
we probably, rightfully so, we should be receiving. Texarkana, Arkansas should be receiving that money that's being going from Millwood during that 4 weeks. Because we have no contractual agreement other than what we want to charge those other cities for our water. But we'll pursue that later. One other thing I wanted to address with you. It has been said that the belief that Riverbend needs this water treatment plant that's estimated, that I've been told, at $55 million, that they need it placed at Red River because they need to be able to provide Red River water where Red River will not be on the BRAC list. Now, my question to you is do we have availabilities right now to provide Red River adequate water that they need without building a plant at Red River?
Of course, there is no tap there at this point in time, but if there were a tap there, we had Allen Plummer and Associates run our computer model while they were developing it, and it showed that we could, in the middle of July, we could supply that location with approximately 5 million gallons of water a day.
And how much does that tap, would it cost?
Oh, Mayor, I'm not sure.
Let me just make it simple. Would it cost more than 20 million? Because isn't that the difference?
No, sir,
isn't that
it would
the difference?
not.
25 million, 55 million, no, 30 million. I'm wrong, 30 million. Would it cost more than 30 million?
No, one that size might cost $200,000-300,000. But
So wouldn't it be a business decision, appropriate business decision, a business person to make that I would spend the 300, how much, 30,000?
300.
300,000, I wouldn't spend 300,000 versus 30 million to provide water to Red River. Isn't that what they want? Riverbend wants is to provide water to Red River? Or that's what they tell us, isn't it?
If 5 million is adequate, yes.
Well, they do right now. They're getting 3 million out of their own.
I believe their plants are able to produce about 3 million gallons.
Now, is that with Ellie Lake and the other lake that?
Yeah, yes.
Is that correct? 3 million?
I think that's.
Okay, would that be a good estimate? So,
Yes, sir.
okay. Well, I mean, if you don't know, that's fine. I'm just.
I believe that would be somewhere near the
The reason I
max.